"You'll never make it here." That's what my boss said to me. The words echoed longer than the meeting itself. The room went quiet. No one defended me. No one even looked at me directly. That kind of silence hurts more than shouting. 3 months ago, he called me promising. He said I had precision and drive. Now, I was treated like a problem to be solved. And all because of one document. 17 pages, full of mistakes I didn't make, but it was sent from my email. At 3:47 a.m. But at that time, I was asleep. Still, my name was there, and that was all that mattered. I tried to explain, but he didn't want to hear it. Every word I said made it worse. He told me I had embarrassed the firm, and I just stood there, feeling smaller with every sentence. When it ended, I didn't cry. I just froze, staring at the others watching me, the interns, smiling in that quiet, careful way that told me everything. They'd planned this, and I knew it. After the meeting, Caroline, the one who always seemed too nice, brought me coffee. She said, "Rough morning, huh? Don't take it personally." Then she left, laughing softly with the others. That's when I realized something important. They didn't just want me embarrassed. They wanted me gone. Maybe because I didn't come from money like they did. No family name. No one waiting to protect me. Just work. Long nights, small wins, and quiet effort. So that night, I stayed late. Everyone had gone home. The office was empty, and I opened the file that ruined me. I looked closer. The errors weren't random. Every misplaced word, every missing clause, it was deliberate. Then I checked the file details, and there it was, last modified by Caroline R. Her name, her fingerprint. I didn't rush to report it. I just took screenshots. Every timestamp, every trace. Because I wasn't their victim anymore. I was their quiet observer. They thought they'd taken my confidence. But when someone tells you you'll never make it, you stop trying to impress them. And once you stop fearing their approval, you start to see things clearly. That was the day I decided. If they wanted me gone, I'd leave behind something they'd never forget. After that day, things changed quietly. No one said anything directly, but I could feel it. The air in the office was different. The way people looked at me, cautious, distant, curious, like they already knew a version of the story that wasn't mine. Emails went missing. Documents I finished disappeared from the shared drive. Then new versions showed up, full of small errors, and every time it was traced back to me. When I asked IT for help, they told me it must have been a sync issue, but the same thing kept happening, and always on days when Caroline stayed late. I started keeping my own records, backups, screenshots, even voice notes of conversations. It made me look paranoid, but I didn't care. When people want you to question yourself, the only defense is proof. At lunch, the other interns sat together. They'd glance in my direction, whisper, and smile. It was always subtle, never enough for anyone else to notice. One afternoon, I overheard them in the hallway. Caroline's voice. "She's starting to lose it. You can see it in her eyes." Another replied, "Good, maybe she'll quit before the review meeting." I didn't react. Instead, I wrote those words down too. Every whisper, every look, I kept it. Because I was building something. A quiet record of everything they thought was invisible. At home, I barely slept. I replayed the day over and over, trying to understand how I'd become the enemy. I started doubting myself, my memory, my instincts, even my tone of voice. That's what isolation does. It makes you believe you're the problem. But one night, I found something that shifted everything. A folder hidden deep inside the firm's shared archive. It was labeled simply, Evaluation. Inside were performance notes on every intern, except mine, until I opened the document's history. Then my name appeared, added and deleted several times by Caroline. And the comments under my name weren't hers. They were written by the boss himself. Potentially a long-term hire. Smart, resourceful. Keep an eye on her. But that comment was marked resolved, and the person who resolved it was Caroline. That's when it clicked. She hadn't just wanted me gone for fun. She wanted my position, the recommendation, the letter, the offer I didn't even know existed. The next morning, she smiled at me like nothing had changed. I smiled back. For the first time in weeks. Because I finally understood the game. It wasn't about humiliation anymore. It was about control. And the only way to take that back was to make them feel safe, while I watched quietly from the inside. That was the start of my calm. I stopped reacting, stopped defending myself. I became invisible, polite, quiet, forgettable. And while they relaxed, I collected everything. The corrupted files, the edited emails, the comments she deleted, even the metadata from the evaluation folder. Piece by piece, I rebuilt the truth, the version they tried to erase. And when it was ready, I didn't send it to my boss. Not yet. Because the truth alone wasn't enough. I needed timing. And timing, I realized, was the sharpest weapon I had. Weeks passed. I stayed quiet, smiled when spoken to, nodded in meetings. On the surface, I was the intern who had learned her place. But underneath, I was setting the stage. The firm's annual review was coming, the day every intern presented their work to the partners. It was supposed to decide who stayed and who left. Caroline had been preparing for it for weeks, collecting praise, staying late just long enough for everyone to notice. I did the same, but differently. While she built her image, I built evidence. Every night, I organized the files, the emails, the hidden edits. I kept copies on an encrypted drive. Nothing fancy, just the truth, arranged neatly, waiting. The morning of the presentation, Caroline looked perfect. Calm, confident, ready to win. She even wished me luck, the kind of luck you offer someone who's already lost. I smiled back. "Thanks," I said. "You'll probably need it more than I do." She laughed, thinking I was joking, but my hands weren't shaking anymore, not like before. When it was my turn to present, I didn't talk about my projects first. I talked about integrity, about how small things, an edit here, a missing credit there, can change someone's entire reputation. The room got quiet. Even the boss looked up. Then I showed my work, the original drafts, the revisions, the timestamps. Each one traced the same pattern. Every time a mistake appeared in my work, it was last edited by one person, Caroline. No accusations, no anger, just facts, clean and organized, like a case file. I could feel the air shift. Caroline tried to speak, but the boss stopped her. He asked for the evidence. I handed him the drive. Then I thanked him for the opportunity to learn how the system worked, and said I hoped it would value fairness as much as performance. That was all. No raised voice, no drama, just quiet clarity. By the end of the week, Caroline was gone. The others stopped whispering, and the boss called me into his office. He didn't apologize. People like him rarely do. But he said he'd reviewed everything and that I'd handled it professionally. Then he handed me a letter. It was an offer, permanent position, full salary. I should have felt proud, but what I felt instead was calm. The kind of calm that comes after a long storm. Not relief, just silence. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.